She pointed across the cafe and whispered, "Mom, that's the man from my dream." He froze, a millionaire CEO, stunned by a little girl who seemed to know his soul. In the heart of Seattle, a little girl's dream would change everything for one lonely CEO. What starts as a simple cafe morning becomes a story of destiny, family, and love you'll never forget. Sometimes the smallest voice in the world guides us to the greatest truths. Watch till the very end. This story will warm your heart and might even make you believe in destiny. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories that will leave you smiling and inspired. Comment below, dreams do come true, if this touched your heart. The Saturday morning sunlight streamed through the tall windows of Maple and Bean Cafe, casting warm golden reflections on the polished wooden tables. Marcus Lang sat in his usual corner, though today was unusual. He wasn't here for business. His tablet lay open, filled with emails and meeting notes, yet he barely glanced at it, instead sipping slowly on his espresso, savoring a rare moment of calm. Normally, his life revolved around meetings, deadlines, and investor calls. But this morning, he allowed himself to simply observe the cafe, noticing the little details he usually overlooked: the soft jazz playing in the background, the aroma of roasted coffee beans, and the gentle chatter of families enjoying the weekend. Across the cafe, Claire wrangled Lily, her energetic 6-year-old, who hopped between her chair and the table, holding a small stuffed bear tightly. Claire balanced her coffee in one hand and her phone in the other, keeping an eye on Lily as she talked excitedly about her upcoming school projects. Life had been a constant struggle for Claire, working multiple jobs, paying rent, and trying to provide small moments of joy for Lily. Despite the chaos, mornings like this brought a rare sense of peace and connection, a brief escape from the pressures of their daily lives. Suddenly, Lily stopped mid-bounce and pointed across the cafe, her eyes wide and unblinking. "Mom?" she whispered, tugging on Claire's sleeve. "That's the man from my dream." Claire froze, heart skipping a beat as she followed her daughter's gaze. Across the room, Marcus was caught mid-sip, his expression shifting from curiosity to surprise. Their eyes met, and for an instant, the bustling cafe seemed to fade away. Marcus felt a strange recognition, a pull he couldn't explain. Lily's small finger remained firmly extended. "He's the one, Mom. I know him," she insisted, her voice a mixture of certainty and excitement. Claire knelt beside her daughter, trying to calm the whirlwind of emotions in her chest. "Sweetie, honey, people in dreams aren't always real," she said gently. But Lily shook her head vigorously, her hazel eyes sparkling with determination. Marcus's heart skipped again, this time with something deeper than surprise. A stir of warmth, a sense of connection that bypassed logic or reason. He had been surrounded by people who measured worth by money, power, or influence, but here was a child whose honesty and innocence pierced the walls around his heart. Slowly, he straightened, offering a soft smile and a gentle nod. "Hello," he said, his voice calm yet carrying a hint of awe. "I'm Marcus. And who might you be?" Lily's face lit up with a radiant smile. "I'm Lily. You're exactly who I saw in my dream." Marcus let out a quiet, nervous chuckle, the first genuine laugh he had felt in years. "Well, that's amazing," he said, his gaze lingering on the little girl, marveling at her certainty and openness. Claire watched silently, a mixture of astonishment and cautious hope in her eyes. The cafe, with its clinking cups and soft chatter, had transformed into a stage for something extraordinary. A meeting of fate, innocence and hearts poised to change forever. For Marcus, Claire, and Lily, this ordinary Saturday morning had become anything but. The unexpected encounter carried the weight of possibility, the hint of destiny, and a quiet magic that neither adult could fully explain. And as they sat together, sharing smiles, laughs, and tentative words, each of them felt the first stirrings of a story that would ripple through their lives in ways they could never have anticipated. Over the next few minutes, Marcus settled into the small cafe chair across from Claire and Lily, feeling an unfamiliar ease. He leaned forward, genuinely curious, as Lily began recounting her dream in vivid detail. She described someone kind, patient, and warm-hearted, a person who could bring happiness and security to her small family. Each word she spoke resonated deeply with Marcus, stirring memories from his own childhood, days of simplicity, laughter, and innocence that had been buried under years of work and responsibility. He listened intently, captivated by her imagination and the certainty in her voice. Claire watched him quietly, astonished by the way he interacted with her daughter. Marcus was nothing like the intimidating CEO people whispered about in the office. Here, he laughed freely, made silly faces that sent Lily giggling, and even knelt down to tie her tiny sneakers when the laces came undone. Lily's confidence seemed to grow with every passing moment. She threw her arms around him in a tight hug, whispering, "I knew you'd be nice. I told Mom." Marcus's heart swelled with warmth, a feeling he hadn't known in years. In the weeks that followed, Marcus and Claire found reasons to meet more frequently. Coffee dates gradually turned into weekend brunches, then walks in the park and shared afternoons of laughter and simple conversation. Marcus, who had once measured his life by meetings and deadlines, began cherishing these unscheduled moments, feeling a sense of freedom and joy he hadn't realized he was missing. Lily adored him, and he adored her in return. The little girl's openness and innocence reminded him of what truly mattered: kindness, love, and connection. One golden evening, after a playful day at the park filled with laughter and kite flying, Marcus turned to Claire with a gentle smile. "You know," he said softly, "I've spent years chasing success, wealth, and recognition. But you and Lily, you've reminded me what really matters." Claire's eyes glistened with emotion. "I didn't know you'd ever fit into our little world," she murmured, her voice thick with awe and hope. Marcus reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. "I think we already have," he replied. Behind them, Lily's laughter filled the air as she swung higher, the little girl's joy echoing around them. Marcus realized then that sometimes even the smallest dreams of a child can guide us to the greatest truths: family, love, and the importance of being present. Months passed, and the bond between Marcus, Claire, and Lily deepened. They became inseparable, creating a rhythm of life that balanced joy, love, and laughter. Lily continued to point him out to friends and strangers alike as the man from my dream, and Claire never grew tired of watching her daughter's certainty and happiness blossom. Marcus had built companies, accumulated wealth, and commanded respect. But it was in this simple, heartfelt connection that he found the richest reward: a home for his heart. Sometimes, destiny doesn't arrive with grand announcements or dramatic gestures. Sometimes it whispers quietly through the voice of a child, a reminder that love, family, and small moments of connection are what make life truly extraordinary. You only need to be willing to listen, like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories that inspire and touch the soul. Comment below, "Dreams do come true," if this story moved you.